Hello and welcome everybody to this very first Satisfactory circular coal plant tutorial. Last week I made a coal plant and I posted a picture on it on Reddit, and a lot of people seemed to like it and asked for a tutorial. So here we are. I'm doing a tutorial live on Twitch. I'll show you the build. That's the easiest, I think. So this is the build. It's a circular build, as you can see. That's what confuses most people. It's actually pretty easy. So I'll just get started by placing some of these industrial storage containers. I'll get rid of everything in my inventory. And I'll give you a better look at the build. So that's about it. I'm first going to delete everything so that I get the resources and I'm sure I can build everything in one go. And then we'll start. Of course, my inventory is going to be cluttered in the beginning, but that's alright. Of course, the power grid's gonna go down. So the beginning is a bit tedious, but I figured it's the best way to start, because then I have the same location, the same starting points, etc., and I know exactly how to make it here. I have to make sure my inventory doesn't get filled up with coal. So we already removed like half the factory, so it's not gonna take too long. Like again, I'm just removing this to make sure I have all the resources and I don't have to go back every time when I run out. And I wanted to build it in the same location because then I'm at least sure that it will fit. And I've built it here once before, so then I know that everything's gonna be alright. have to make sure I remove the cables though. I'm gonna leave one foundation for now, just to make it easier. I'm gonna remove that one. So that should be around everything. Yeah. So I'm gonna remove this one last. Oh, my beacon's still there, but that's not a problem, I think. Alright, so the circular build. I know this was around the center, so I'm just gonna start it over here. And that's the last thing I'm gonna remove. You actually don't need that many resources now that I look at it. So, to start the circular thing, you're gonna first want to make one platform and drop an item. Let's say the rotor. What you do is you jump on top of the rotor and remove this platform. Now you want to select one of the first two foundations, because the last one is too high to jump on top of. So let's say you want the 1 meter thick ones. So what you do is you look right underneath you, you jump and you place it. Then you want to extend these platforms in all directions, not over there, twice. So now you have, at the distance of 2, you have one platform. What you do then is you remove these and you place another platform, but you twist it once. Then you jump, you place it underneath, and you extend it twice again in all directions. Then you remove the middle 3 ones, you grab another platform, you twist it once, and you place it underneath you. Of course, this one wasn't exactly underneath me. Now, if you do it perfectly, it should make a perfect circle after a while. It's very important that during this time, you don't actually move your character, because then it's not going to be a perfect circle anymore. As well as when you don't place the platforms immediately underneath you, it's also not going to be a perfect circle. I expect that this one won't be a perfect circle. Oops. You just continue this process of twisting it once and then placing 2 platforms on each side. And as you can see, it's already starting to look like a circle. So you keep extending these in all directions. I now notice that I forgot one side each time. But that's not a problem. So you twist it once, you place it... Whoops. So you twist it once, you place it underneath you. Why is the floor too steep? You put it in all directions twice. like so. And then you remove all the middle ones. Now you might be wondering when the circle is complete. Because you don't actually see if there's one more room in there. But once you go to a point where you have already been, it's usually when you make the perfect circle. Hey! When you make the perfect circle, it's gonna say that it's already been built on. And you can see, of course, that this one has already been placed there. Hey, thanks for the follow, bro. I really appreciate it. Oh, I'm supposed to twitch it further. We'll just... Hello. We'll just skip this part for now. But now you've made a circle. And you can just... How are you getting on? Just fine. I'm just doing a tutorial for people who want to do a circular coal plant. So what you do now is you extend this platform 17 times, because we include this one. Hey, that's a bit. Thanks for the bit. I'm actually not sure if it was from here 18 times, but we'll see later. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Now if you go back to the middle and you go here, you should be able to place another foundation inside this one, like so. And then when you extend this one 18 times, and I'm just not counting right now, I'm just looking at the length of the other one. One more. So these are equally as long, and the point is that on each leg, I'll call these ones legs, you place 2 coal generators, which take up 2.5 foundation of space. So you extend these, oops, twice in this direction. And you'll do the same on this one. So you do 1, 2. So all the way at the end now, you have a long leg with 9 platforms. And you have the same on this leg. So you grab the coal generator. If I actually knew where they were. Here. And you want to put it so your coal plant will look much cooler than mine. If you go to the Satisfactory Reddit, you can actually see my coal plant. It has 1,000 upvotes, so it should be near the top somewhere. So you put it down once, and you put the other one over there. And now you can see that this one, definitely rounder anyway, that you still have room, if I go here, for 2 others. This amount of room is already not perfect, so I made the circle in the middle wrong, because I didn't look down straight. But usually you will have barely any room between these two. It might also be possible that it's just one too long. Let me check quickly. Let me remove those. Grab a new coal generator. Put it on the border, like this. Place one against it. Yeah, it was just extended. The legs were just one too long. So you just want to line them up here on this ledge. And then you put this one against it, and now it should look like a better circle. Yeah, that's still a bit of room, but I don't think... I can just check, why not? Remove all 4 of them. Grab a new coal generator. Put them on the ledge of the platform. Yeah, this is actually better. This is how it was. Look, and now you have a circle. So you can remove these back platforms, because we don't use them anymore. So I'll count them again from the from the back. It's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So next you just want to extend those legs all the way around. And that's actually a process that takes quite a while. And I forgot to count again, but I'll just check if they're equally as long as that one, like this. Then you want to go back to the middle. I wish I could skip this part, because it's really boring. It's just smashing foundations. That one's too long. Oh, you can make the platforms already. Like, again, it doesn't matter that this platform clips in here, because the coal generator isn't 3 platforms long. It's only going to take like 2.5, so it will stop right here somewhere. So we can extend this one as well. Yo, thanks for your attention, bro. Have a nice evening. Now this might be a bit buggy. Sometimes it helps to go down here. And then place it underneath. I might actually be missing a platform here. Yeah, I'm just missing one. I think. Yeah, I'm missing one. But that's not a problem. We'll just continue to build as usual. Now it's kind of hard to check if this is long enough. I can try again for a second. Oh. I believe there is a platform here. Well, I kind of want it there if it is there, because it will mess up the spacing later. Ah, who cares? We'll just do it later. As you can see, circular builds can be... You see it's there, because it wants to snap. I'll try it from the bottom. Yes, we got him. So we just extend this one. To the same, oops, to the same length as this one. Jesus Christ, I'm missing a lot of these foundations. 1, 2, 3. This is gonna look really ugly, that hole here. But it's just for the sake of the video, for the tutorial. Ah, wait, maybe that's the trick. All the bits, thanks. Yeah, that ain't working. Just pretend that there's an extra leg there. And I missed again. I'm actually gonna do the whole build, just for people who want to follow along on YouTube later. Because I really hate it when people do a partial... I usually did follow builds, and when I do a partial build, I usually am frustrated because I'm missing parts of the build. Yes, there we got it. Believe it or not, this is actually the hardest part. What are bits, by the way? You can buy bits on Twitch and then send them to a creator. And I believe Twitch transfers them into money and pays the streamer for it. I believe that's how it works, but Twitch wants them to be used for events. So let's say I'm having a race, then you can like use bits to bet on me or another user. I just messed up the circular part in the middle, but we'll be fine. It's about the idea, right? Does it extend one further? I believe so. Thanks for the bit. Yeah, these holes, they are really gonna look ugly in the end. And I don't know why the snapping messes up this much, because usually it just works fine. I think I just missed one part in the circle. This is too far. And I think this one might be too far as well. I'm actually gonna count this one real quick. So that's 16. I believe that's one too long. Oops. Yeah, that's one too long. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So, in contrary with what I did, take your time to make the circular shape in the middle, because it's gonna define your whole build. Look, this one does work. Oh shit, I removed the whole thing. Oops. I'll just put it back. Like so. I think I just made my circle incomplete. Like so. 3 more. If it would just snap back. Yes. She's in bed. Whoops. I think I placed another one, but who cares? Actually, it might be easier if I just place these foundations first. This one's already gonna extend in the wall. So we're almost finished with the first step, which is the foundations. Oh, I see, I forgot to remove these. I'll just reload my old save file when I'm finished with the build, so that you can see what the actual build looks like. And of course I'm gonna post it to YouTube later, so you can rewatch it as many times as you like. Okay, 2 more. There we go. It's really going faster as I thought. That one was on the bottom of the ocean. And there might actually be a second one, but we don't care for now. By the way, I started this tutorial by removing the old power plant and just rebuilding it exactly as it was. You can see by the fact that I have concrete left that it's not exactly the same. I know I still have some of these, what do you call them, foundations to make, and I also forgot a part there, which doesn't really matter, but I'll take maybe a minute to try and put this in place, to try and look if it works. It does work, nice. Now I can just extend these. Nice. Ah, nice. Congratulations. What is your rating right now? We'll extend the last 3. This is a big hole as well. So I did make the circle complete. I'm just incapable of extending the circle. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. I believe there's one more hole over here somewhere. Yep. I'll try to fill it in. Nice. So they do all work. Whoops. I fell off. So as you can see now, I'm gonna make a ladder real quick. Allow me to place foundations like this. And then we'll make a ladder. As you can see now, we have a circular shape right here, which isn't an exact circle because I fucked up the measurements in the beginning. But at the end, you can see that there's room for all the coal generators. So what we're going to do next is we're going to place all the coal generators. So you'll start at the first leg. And you're going to want to place them like this. As you can see in the bottom left corner, like right here, you want it to be exactly on the corner. And when you stand over here, you want this steel bar to line up with the platforms. And then you can place the next one just like this. And then the next one is going to be on this platform. And then you continue this motion along the whole border of the platforms. Again, this will take a while as well, but the end result is worth it, in my opinion. Oops. Like this. I'm not gonna be really nitpicky during the tutorial with the placement. If one gets placed a little bit farther to the back, I'm not gonna be the guy to change it. In my usual builds, I do that. But right now I just want to focus on getting the tutorial done and then finishing the stream. It's gonna be night. Once you get the basics down of circular builds, it's actually really simple. Actually, nearly every circular build starts with that middle. By the way, hold left control to make them line up perfectly. Like if I hold my mouse right here, it doesn't do anything. But if I press left control, it places the generator straight next to the one I'm pointing at. For people who didn't know. Oh, it's turned. like this. Was that the last one? I believe so. Yep. Okay, so now we also burned out like half of our resources. But as you can see, whoops, that's inconvenient. As you can see, we have all the power, the coal generators in a circular shape around this base. What you want to do next, and I realized I should have done this before, is extend all these platforms by 2 from there. Again, it would have been easier if I did it before. You actually, yeah, you want to extend this one also. Oops. But just make it so that you can walk around the edge, because your conveyor belts are gonna be here. How is it possible that I have concrete? Not enough concrete. Ah, it's because I removed these paths earlier. Okay, so we're gonna do the next step as well, together with this one. Your water extractors are going to be set up 2 right here, and 1 in the back here. So you want to remove all these platforms. Do you want to remove these as well? I'm actually unsure. Let's just remove them like this for now. Oops. Now we have concrete to extend the building. I'll just do it quickly like this. I realize that the order of this tutorial might not be very optimal. But excuse me for it, since it's my first one. Just remove all the legs. Like so. I don't know how far I remove these in my actual build. Let's just remove one more layer. What you want to do next is you want to go straight for the middle one, which should be around this one. It's not going to be that precise, right? As a matter of fact, there are 38 of these coal generators, so there technically isn't exactly a middle. We'll choose this one. Why not? And from here, you want to extend it like this. That's probably because of that. Yeah. And then you want to make a path from here to the one that is 90 degrees from there. And I realize now that it's wrong, because if I extend it from here, it's not going to go to a generator, but you get the point. I'm just going to use this one then. Like, the measurements are all a bit off. I mean, that wouldn't be the exact middle, and the circular shape in the middle isn't exactly a circle. But you get the point. The next part is very simple. You grab, what are they called? Splitters, right here. And what you do is you place one in front of every machine over here. Like this. You're going to place one on every right side of the two. Because the next step will be to do this on every single thing. And then when you place a splitter on this one, over here, you're going to connect this like that. And you want to connect this splitter straight into that one. this splitter into this one. What's gonna happen later? It's actually easier if I explain that when it's built. So I'm just gonna speed build this a bit. It's not gonna be exactly straight, but you get the point. I just don't want this tutorial to be like 2 hours long. Like, the players can just make this exactly asymmetrical if they want to. But I just want to get the build done. So we'll do it like this. Build one over here. And you want to continue this motion until you hit the halfway point. I know this is inefficient in the beginning. Look, that one's not exactly straight, but we'll see it through the fingers right now. I'll show you the end result at the end of the video. This is the halfway point. So this one's gonna be empty. You're gonna leave it like this. And here you want to start another of those like motions. Another one of those lengthy chains. Because you're gonna split the main income, you're gonna split it in two. 50% is gonna go that way, and it's gonna split over the half of these generators. And the other half is gonna come this way, and it's gonna split over this half of the generators. It's inefficient. It's very inefficient actually at first, but I'll explain later how you fix that. I should have connected those. Wow, I just noticed how quickly you can build something if you've already built it once. Like, the first build, like planning everything and calculating how much resources I had and how much was gonna go where, it actually took me like 4 days or 3 days to build this whole thing. And now that I've already done it once, I just build it in like an hour, because we're kind of halfway there already. So this is gonna go in there. It's just really simple, just the same process over and over again until you reach the end over there. Like so. 2 more. So it's 1, 2. If this building goes too fast, you can just put the YouTube video in slow motion or something. Like, it's very simple. I'm gonna show you the what it looks like in the middle here. So I'm gonna put down these. Just a few, it doesn't really matter. Like so. Yeah, this is what I mean. If I lined it up perfectly, this would have been a straight line that way, but it's not. So maybe it's a perfect line from there. So I didn't just pick the middle. Like, you get the point. We put one here. And of course, this has to switch lane a bit because this one is not exactly centered. Then we're gonna place one more splitter over here. Whoops. Like so. It's gonna go in there. I think... Oh, it did connect. Nice. Okay, so to get a bit of a top view, you're gonna want to make the middle splitter go left and straight ahead, seen from like that point. Then you're gonna put a splitter every other coal generator. So you put one here, you don't put one there, but you do put one there. And then it's gonna go straight to the left one. And on the right, it splits to a next splitter, which does the same. It goes straight, it goes left, and it splits to another splitter, and you just repeat the process for the entire row. What's next is the water extractors, and this was actually the hardest part to do. The calculations were kind of hard to make, and the spacing was really tedious. I think because the circle in the middle isn't perfect, I'm gonna have problems somewhere in this build, but we'll see. The point is to make 2 water extractors. I'm actually gonna start all the way over there because that's easiest. And here, this is where I'm actually gonna put up the Reddit post because it had a screenshot of what it looks like above, or from above. Give me a second real quick. Was it 2 generators and then a line, or was it 4 generators? It was 2 generators, nice. Okay, so every what do you call them? Water extractor is capable to suffice 4 of these coal generators if you put it on 135% with 1 power shard. However, if you divide 38 by 4, you don't get a whole number. So you need an extra one, and that's what the leftmost water extractor is for. So this one is only gonna be here for these 2. It's not gonna be overclocked because it only needs 90% of its output. But we'll get to the numbers later. For now, we'll just put 1 here, and now you know why. It's just to make the rest, because 36 is divisible by 4. And then you just need 9. So what you do is you grab one, you put it over here. It's actually easier from the splitter because you're higher up. You just put a water extractor here. You put a water extractor next to it, as closely as possible. Like this. And I need to check back and forth every once in a while because it's been a few days now. And if I'm not mistaken, let's count this picture actually. It is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and then a thing. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2. You can extend this one. If you line up the water extractors with the coal generators, you're automatically gonna have the correct spacing, because this one's gonna go in those 2. Then you have this one, it's gonna go in the next 4, so that would be this one, this one, this one, this one, and that one. Then there's gonna be 1 water extractor in the back, which is gonna do the next 4, etc, etc. So we're gonna extend this. This is the 7th platform, the 2, 4, 6, the 8th platform, and we're gonna extend it all the way back to the middle, like so. Then what you could do, and this is more like a preference thing, is you can extend this as far as you can to this point and remove these. Then you do the same with this one. And I hope the spacing's gonna be alright, because I kind of didn't align everything perfectly. So what you can do, and this is a preference thing, is you can extend these platforms like so. And then you can make a second walking bridge, and then the 3rd one is gonna be in here. It does fit, nice. And this is actually what you're gonna be repeating all the way around. So I'm gonna show you a bit from the top here, so that you can have a better look. Actually, I'm gonna stand in the middle, like this. So you have these generators. You will have 2 water extractors in the front. Then you're gonna have the walking bridge, and then 1 in the back. That's really... by the way, every water extractor does 3 generators, not 4. It does 3, not 4. Otherwise the spacing's gonna be wrong. And this process you just repeats all the way around. So in this bassin, it's just gonna be the same. You put 1 extractor over here. It's a bit finicky with clipping issues and with spacing. Just make sure it's as far in the corner as possible. And then here you don't have to worry because the line is already there. So you can just put this one anywhere. I'm just gonna put it as close to the corner as possible. And then again, this is a personal preference thing. I really like it when I can walk there. So I just extend these 4 times. I extend this one 4 times. Ooh, the autosave. The autosave gives me lag. 1, 2, 3, 4. You extend this one 4 times. Then you remove this part, like so. You extend the outside ones on both sides, and then you create this circular shape, as you can see. It's gonna be a bit clippy in the middle, like this. What you can do as well is, I'm just gonna leave the original 3, which were those 2. What you can do as well, instead, is go like this. You have these 3 platforms, which originate from the original circle, like these 3. What you can do instead of making one platform to the left and right of this one, and one platform to the left and right from that one, is extend one platform from each. So you just go like this, 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 this. In my opinion, it looks better. I'm not sure why this clips. It shouldn't. In my opinion, this looks better because it keeps the circular shape better. Because here it's gonna be like a point, and here it's gonna look like, well, a bulge a bit. But it's all personal preference. This should fit in here as well. Yes. I'll finish the rest real quick. So another one in this corner. Like that. And then it's gonna be 1, 2, 3. Here's gonna be the next line, and it's gonna be 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I miscalculated by a shit ton, I believe, because it's 2 and then 1 line, 2, 4, 6, 1 and a line, 2, 4, 6, 1 and a line, 2, 4. Ah, that's what it was. Now I remember. What I did in my original build is I made 2 lines. Jesus. From here. That's why I had so much room left, I guess. Yeah. I'm just gonna show you real quick what I did in my original build. I did this. That's my mistake. It should fit still, right? Yeah, see, it doesn't fit now. Or did I place that one incorrectly? 2, 4, yeah, I placed this one. No, that's not possible. Wait, what? It's 2, 4, 6, 1 to the side. 2, 4, 6, 1 to the side. If your spacing is correct, a second water extractor should fit here. Kinda curious why it doesn't fit. I mean, it's fairly obvious, there's not enough room, but... Okay, so you place it as much forward as you can. Then you go left. It doesn't fit. Great. This is how I build it, though. I know why it doesn't... I know why it doesn't fit. This... this... What do you call these things? Conveyor belt should have been on that platform instead of this one. For the sake of finishing the build, I'm actually going to change that real quick. It's not going to change too much to the build, because what we're going to do is we're going to make that one go in here. We're going to remove this one. We're going to extend these platforms. And now, if my guess is going to be correct, this should be a 90-degree angle. Let's actually change it as well. If I extend this line from here, it's going to be this one. This should be, yeah, see, now it does fit. So this line's gonna look like garbage. Or change it as well. It's a splitter. You put it in the middle. Now it should fit. This is fixed. It should fit easily now. Or it still doesn't. Oh, I should replace this one, of course. So I'll grab this. Put it in this corner. Yeah, see, there's more than enough room now. Like this. We will extend this like the usual. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the last one. 4. Remove these 9 platforms. I'm actually gonna do the round thing again, like this, because I think it looks better. I'll just leave that one like it is, and you can place one in here. You should be able to place one, yeah? Yes. And then it's gonna be 1, 2 again. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1. This will be the next one. And just like in the original build, I'm gonna extend, if it works with me. Is it this one? Yeah. I'm gonna extend this one as well. Just to make it as close as possible to the original one. And then all the way at the end, so it's 2, 4, 6. See, now it does fit perfectly. Like so. You grab more water extractors. You put them over here. That's 1. I feel like there's a lot of room in comparison with my original build, but it's exactly the same, so... Come on, place the thing. Nice. I can do these ones as well, before I do the back ones. So that's 1, and this will be 2. Keep in mind, I'm placing these quite casually, but keep in mind that you want to put this water extractor as closely as possible to this ledge, and you want to put this water extractor as closely as possible to this ledge, because the water extractor that comes in the back has to have a pipe that goes in between, and because of the square hitboxes of buildings, it's gonna be very annoying to deal with later. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remove these 9 again. Damn, that was really smooth. Make this round. How easy something can be if you know how to build it. It's really astonishing, in my opinion. Imagine that this took me 4 days. To complete from beginning to end. Of course, that includes the calculations, which I didn't do in this tutorial, of course. Whoops. Like that. So now, I'm actually gonna build a new ladder. It should look as if it is finished, except for the tubes at the end. So you have 3 generators here, 3 generators there, 3 here, and 3 there. And then 1 on the side to fix the uneven issue. Now all that's left is you want to connect the water extractors to the coal generators, and you want to power everything. Now, in my original build, I was extremely nitpicky with how I wanted the tubes to go. I usually use stackable pipeline support, because I think they just look the best. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna quickly connect everything, because this is, first of all, it's gonna be personal preferences where you want everything and how you want everything, but it's just to show how to connect them. So the first one is simple. You do this, you remove this. No, that's not how you do it. Or how I do it, I should say. You connect this to this, and then you remove this, and then you place one of these. It's easier actually to do this. A cross junction. And from there, you want it to go in that one and in that one. And this particular cross section is going to be used on every single generator. So you're going to do the same here. So this is the middle one, because this water extractor is going to support that, that, and that. So I usually put it in the middle. Then you connect the water extractor to this, you remove this, you select the cross section, you place it on top of it, and then what you do is you connect this to that, this to that, and this to that. And in this case it clips in here, so you can yeah, like I said, in the original build I was really nitpicky, so I would find a way to go around this. But right now, for the sake of the video, I'm just gonna put one thing over there and connect it like this. It's still not gonna work. Cool. Actually, what am I doing hard for? I can just do it like this. Oh, it works like this as well. Cool. And then you can go from here in there. Now this part is why it's important to space the room in between these extractors a lot, because the pipeline from that one is gonna go through the middle, and as you can see, if I place a support there and I connect it with a pipe straight, it's gonna complain because it's gonna go through the hitbox of this water extractor. And that's why I want the spacing in between these to be as wide as possible, to make sure that this connection is possible. See, it's still not possible. And I'm actually afraid that it's not going to be... Which one is it enroaching? I'm actually unsure. Oh, the left. Both. Yeah, see, that's a problem. So I'm gonna have to space these again. Oh, if you turn them, you get more room. That's a good thing. Now it should fit in between, I think. Let's see, this is the middle part. So if you want the middle of this, because this is gonna be... The one back there is gonna fuel these three. But this middle isn't above one of these platforms. So what you do is you just place a stackable pipeline support on the edge like this. And then I hope it connects. It does go this way, doesn't go this way. Well, what you want to do in a perfect world is you want to connect it to the other side, like right there. Wait, what am I... Why am I so stupid? You can just do it like this. Then you remove this. You grab the cross section, not like that. And as you can see, this line is going to be exactly straight. Yeah, it's going to cry about the hitbox again. Now you want to remove this and reconnect it like that. And then there should be room for the water extractor still. Like that. And now you can connect this to that location. And this is going to be... I can do it like this, for example. So I can actually finish all these extractors, but I think by now you get the point. You just continue this motion for the entire build. So as you can see, these are the next three. You just put one of those stackable plants over there. You connect the pump to the thing. You remove the stand. Place a pipeline cross at the end. And then you go in each generator. It's really simple. And it's gonna cry because there's a thing over there again. Oh my god, it's too close to the machine. The pipe has an invalid shape. This is just up to personal preference, how you want everything. I like really straight lines. Usually I make these conveyor belts always 90 degrees, except for this one of course, because that's 90 degrees, that's 90 degrees. But with these pipes, I usually put one of those stackable conveyors directly in front of the middle one, and then try to connect these things in a straight line. And sometimes you have to place an extra one over here, but like, there's not really a lot you can do. Once you have finished the entire circle like this, and for the sake of the length of this video, I'm actually not gonna do that. I think by now you guys get the point. You just grab the next one. Oops. Jesus. Nice. Okay, so you get the point. You grab the next water extractor. You have 1, 2, 3 generators. This is the middle. So what you do is you do this. You connect it to the side. You remove it. You place the cross. You remove the pipeline again because you want it to connect to the middle, right there. And then you want to connect this to there. And it doesn't fit because I placed it too closely. Now it does fit around that. And this goes in there, but it has an invalid shape, but you get the point. I'm gonna show you now how I did the wiring. The wiring was actually really easy. So of course my wiring starts all the way at the beginning, where the miner is. And then you have this shape, which is gonna bring the coal. I'm just gonna connect this real quick. I'll show you the calculations later. You're gonna grab one of these at the ledge here. Then you want one of those to go down. Like this. How I did my wiring was actually pretty simple. And I'm actually unsure how that coal has power. Oh wait, it was overstacked. What I usually do is I grab wall connectors, these, and I put them on the side, like this. I connect them, like so. Like so. Then I put a pole over here. And this is the second reason why I like this crossroad. You can put a pole over here. And then you can go around like this. By the way, if you want to walk here, you might want to put one of these over here. So it's gonna look something like this. I'm not sure if this is a valid shape, but we'll see. It's not. Fine. I'll place it one further. And now you can walk underneath it, and the power line, conveniently, fits over it. So you just continue this motion. So let's assume that there would be a pole here as well. You do this. Then you continue to here, and you do this. Like, this is just a rough idea, right? It's not made to follow step by step. And what I did is I made these poles, the ones that were in front of everything, or the pipe, I made them Mark II, like this, and then connected all the water pipes to this pole. I do that here as well. So this is where the tube would be going. Then you grab the pole to the left of it, you make it Mark II, and you connect these three water extractors to this pole. Same shit, different day. Kaboom, 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 kaboom. You do it here as well. I'm actually gonna try to get at least one of those coal generators running so that you know that it works. The rest of the coal generators I powered like this. I put a pole over here. I put a pole over here. I connected this pole to that one. Then I put one final pole over here. And then I did the following. I made a foundation ring all the way around. And then what I did is I connected this to that location. And then as you can see, if you want to connect this power pole to that one, it's gonna want to go to the right side of the foundation. So I just put one straight underneath, like this. One tick to the right of that line. And then on the next one, as you can see, is gonna be one tick to the left of the foundation. So right there. And now if you connect them, you can see that these lines are nearly straight. And if you could connect all the way around, you would just go to the right side of the line, to the left side of the line, and you would connect them the way you would connect everything. Now you make this foundation all the way around to make the wiring, and then afterwards you delete it. So again, right side of the line, left side of the line, and you connect them. Right side of the line, left side of the line, and you connect them. That's basically how I did it. Of course, I'm gonna have resources left because I didn't finish the whole circle, and I'm gonna leave the foundations there as well. Now, the miner, and this is a very important thing, it is a Mark III miner, and it's running, not sure exactly how much percent. This is gonna be an issue. By the way, how I made this is that giant box was straight. Oops. I actually don't want to fall to my death. Very clunky movement over here. How I did this was pretty easy. Why are you using miners for your build? Lol. Nice joke. How I did this is I placed this giant box down here, like straight down the wall, and then I put the conveyor lift like right here. And the miner that I use, whoops, is over here. This is a pure node, as you can see. It's pure. And this is a Mark III miner, which mines 570 coal per minute, which is exactly enough. Every coal generator needs 15 coal a second. We have 38 of them, so if you multiply 38 with 15, I said we multiply it with 15, you see you need 570 each minute, which is why this one mines 570 a minute. Now that you have the coal correct, you want to have the water correct as well. Now you can see if you go to the first very first coal generator, if it would be turned on, it would need 45 cubic meters of water per minute, so 45 cubes. This is actually very convenient because this mines 120. So if you put this on 90%, on 90 output, I believe. Oh, I can change it because it doesn't have power. Let's just jumpstart everything real quick. I can teach you how to jumpstart things. It's very easy. You just put a few platforms here. Or up there if you want, it doesn't matter. And I actually need some extra resources. So I'm gonna grab those real quick from the boxes. This is really inconvenient. So I need... Actually, let's just grab everything. Why not? So you grab the biomass burners. You just put them over here. You can never have too many of them. You connect them all to one power line. You want to make it Mark II, by the way. You connect this to that. Wait, they already have biomass in it? Oh no, they don't. Like this. And then, before you turn them on, you want to cut this wire. Because right now, the only thing you're powering is the miner. If the power would have been connected. Wait, 1 second. This one should go up there. That's connected all the way there. Then you make this thing go to a power pole over here, and you connect this to that, and that one goes to the miner. So right now, if you power it, the only things you are powering, assuming you wired every single coal generator from the back, is the only thing you're powering is the miner, this water extractor, and only the coal generators that get coal and water. So if I turn this on, and I could have done it from the pole actually, I'm pretty sure I overclocked these in the beginning, by the way. So you just want to overclock them real quick. Because the miner is overclocked, and it's a Mark III miner, so it uses quite a lot of power actually. So you want to overclock these, turn it on again. It might shut down immediately because that's how it works. This should work. And it doesn't. Ah, wait. I have it connected to my whole factory still. That's a mistake on my part. I should cut that wire real quick. I'm trying to power my whole factory right now, instead of just this build. And that's not how it works. So, right here, you're gonna see that it's going to my miner, and that goes to my entire factory. So we'll cut this wire real quick. And now it should work. If it doesn't work, I'm gonna be confused, to say the least. So, attempt number 3. Flip the switch. Look at that consumption. So what's gonna happen is these 4, what are they called? Biomass burners are going to power the miner, and the miner is just going to fill up every single coal generator in this factory. And you actually want to wait until the whole conveyor belt is actually fully stocked. Hi. So as you can see, it's gonna split up, and these ones are being filled pretty quickly because they're at the beginning of the chain, but at the end, because they're set up this way, the last one in the line probably doesn't even have 1 coal yet. Oh, it does have 1 coal. Cool. In the beginning, you might actually want to completely overclock the miner to fill them up quickly, which is what I'm gonna do right now, real quick. So you're just gonna go up here. That's just to save time, by the way. It's not more efficient or something, because you want to turn it down later. So you have the miner over here, you just overclock it completely to 780 actually, because that's the maximum output of the belts. 780. It's now putting out a shit ton of coal. So it should fill up the machines more quickly. That's basically all it does. And as you can see, this water extractor is connected to the current power line, and it's the only one that is working right now. Of course, this one's only powering these 2 coal generators, so it only needs to produce 90 cubic meters of water. So we're gonna put this on 90, if it would work, 90. And that would be enough. But for the other water extractors, they're powering 3 coal generators each, so they need 135. So for this build, every single water extractor right here, except for that one, will need 1 power shard. And you'll want to put this on 135 cubic squares meter water per minute. That's the best. It's 100% efficient and it doesn't lose anything. Now if you want to turn on more of these, you cut the second wire and you connect this one to here. All that it does is allow these 3 generators, or water extractors I mean, to turn on. As you can see, they're gonna pump water into these coal generators and they're gonna start working as well. Of course, they're not all connected to the power grid. Wait, these should be though. Did I not connect them? I did. Then why aren't they working? They are working, never mind. So of course, at some point it's not gonna work anymore because I didn't finish the whole circle of powering them. But you get the point. Now, at this point you want to wait until the conveyor belts are stacked, which is, it's gonna take a while. It's at least a few minutes. Because you need 38 stacks of coal and you only mine 7 stacks, nearly 8 stacks. So it'll be like 4 or 5 minutes and then it's fully stacked. Now that you have these 3 running, you can probably just connect that line to this pole, because the the coal generators now generate power instead of those biomass burners. But if you want to do it completely safely, you just remove this wire and you connect this pole to this pole, allowing the next 3 water extractors to extract water. By now, your coal generators will be stacked with coal if you would have waited a few minutes. These water extractors are gonna add water to them. This is just gonna turn on if I would have powered them. And then the final step would be to connect this line. And again, if you want to do it completely safely, you want to remove this line. But at this point you're generating so much power, it doesn't really matter. You can connect this one to here, and later on you can connect that one to there. And then everything's running. You should make around 3.1k power flat, because this is 100% efficient. Of course, you want to overclock this generator as well, or this extractor, and you want to overclock it to 135, just like this one. Again, you want to overclock every single power generator in here, or water extractor. Jesus, I keep on messing the names. And once they are all powered to 135%, and that one to 90, you can simply remove this power pole, you can remove these biomass burners, these platforms if you want to, and you're done. Now what I did in my build is I wanted to make it not completely flat, so what I did is I grabbed some walls. Right here I made a conveyor wall. Then I grabbed the ones with the linear windows, like this. Then I grabbed the gate walls, more windows, another conveyor, more windows, more gates, more windows, and then one more gate. And now it should be kind of the same with my original build. I know it's nighttime, so you won't be able to see it exactly. But this is the general idea. You can remove this, because it's gonna go next to the edge right there. I can also remove the ladder. And that's how you build the circular power plant. It looks more complicated than it is. It just takes a bit of time. And of course, once this belt is completely stacked, you want to turn down this miner to 570. Because if you keep it this way, it's gonna use power. It's gonna use a lot of power, and then when it's completely stacked, it's gonna shut down, and you get these ugly lines. Like as you can see, this is a flat line. But if you keep the miner too high, you're gonna get spikes and dips. So you just want to take it to 570. I think the power went off. Oh no, this is what I meant. Now you can see it actually. See this? This is what you don't want. If I would have powered every single coal plant and connected them to all the water extractors, this would be a completely flat line with an output of 570. But because they're not connected, because of the short tutorial, this is not gonna flatline. So again, I'm gonna load my main save file, which would be this one. And I'm very glad I saved beforehand, otherwise I would have lost my progress. This one's gonna be day, if I'm correct. It takes a while, longer than I would have wanted. Yes, there we go. And this is what it would look like. Oh, I actually made walls there as well. So if you actually line up everything correctly, this should be a perfect cross. As you can see, the power lift is gonna be right here. And all these coal generators are generating power. About 3.1k, if I'm correct. It might be more since I have a geyser later. Yeah, see, it's a bit more. That's because there's a geyser as well. The only reason why my production line is not flat is because I have the geyser lined up. Geysers in this game were changed with a certain patch to not be a constant 400, but it would be fluctuating between 200 and 600, which is why this line isn't flat. But if I were to cut this, which I can actually do, I just got this one. Of course my power broke. My whole factory is now without power. But this should be instantly a flat line, as you can see. It's gonna be 2,850 all the way. I believe it was a bit more. Yeah, but that's all there is to it. It's quite simple actually. It looks complicated. In the beginning it is, because you have to figure out the spacing and stuff. But if you can just follow a tutorial like this one, it's actually quite simple. As you can see, like I said in the video, I actually like the double lines better. I made these stackable pipeline supports because it looks neat, and of course you can walk underneath them. And like I said, I made all these tubes go directly into the middle one and just connect the side ones in a straight line. And if there was something in the way, like here... Oh, that's not in the way. Ah, I actually put them on the second one and not the first one. I guess it doesn't matter that much. But you get the point. It's those minor differences. If you're building this, you're gonna be changing it anyway. By the way, I called this thing Half Moon Island because it looks like half a moon and I thought it was cool. I'm gonna wrap the video up real quick in a second. I'm just gonna give you one more overview. Maybe from the mountain, that'd be cool. And this is what it looks like. Of course the smoke doesn't render all the way around. Ignore this, by the way. It was my old factory. But yeah, this is what it looks like. Take your time. That's my final tip. Take your time to do the spacing right. Because if you compare this to my previous build, you will notice that these platforms are all correctly lined up. And if you mess up the inner circle, your whole build is gonna be messed up. And that's something you don't want. I just did a quick tutorial on how to build it. I didn't really check the spacing or if those belts were 90 degrees, because if you can closely look at this, you can see that every single belt has the exact same shape. It's a slight bend to the left, it goes straight, and then in a 90-degree angle it enters the next splitter. It's gonna be all the way around in this direction. But yeah, that's about it. It's easier than it looks, in my opinion. Yeah, it is easier than it looks. It looks pretty hard, but it's pretty easy. I could actually free run over these poles, and I missed. Great. With this death, I'm actually gonna end the stream. I believe it was this button. No, it's not that button. Cool. Did I change it again? Great. It's this then. No. Ah, wait. Let's see. Satisfactory stream. Satisfactory swap. That's what I needed. Yes. This was the tutorial. It was really fun to make one. I should really do this more often if I have any cool builds. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope it was clear and that you can guys follow along. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Great evening. Good luck with building. Bye bye.